put it in the box. We're going to hear the ding. Good morning, third grade friends. Today is Monday, December 14th, and today's the first of a really exciting week of social studies connections in reading. Last week, we talked about how there are many winter holidays, and this week we're going to focus on the big three. We're going to talk about Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa. We had a quick preview to those last week before we wrote our friendly letters to our friends in the nursing home to do our community service for our work ethic standard and our behavior core tie-in. And we're going to be able to look at these three holidays a little bit more this week. So first up is Christmas. We're going to make some really good text-to-self connections because Christmas is the winter holiday that you are the most familiar with. You're going to be reading a nonfiction passage in your Google activity today. So there's two things we're going to do to check in. First up, we're going to learn a little bit more about the history of Christmas and get some good background knowledge on the nonfiction side with this brain pop. And then we're going to get to watch the beginning of a fiction Christmas story to get to see both sides. So I'm going to hit start on this video and we're going to hang together and do the best we can. If your video or sound goes out, leave the meet and come back. If it starts to lag, just hang tight. It's a Monday and Google worldwide is having some struggles, so just hang in there.
I can't wait for winter vacation to start. There are many winter holidays to celebrate with friends and family. What is Christmas? Christmas is celebrated on December 25th. It honors the birth of Jesus Christ, who Christians believe is the Son of God. Some people go to church to celebrate the holiday. But people also do activities like decorating trees or singing Christmas carols. Some people help others in need or collect items to donate or give away to others. Many people exchange presents. In some cultures, kids look forward to a jolly old man bringing gifts. He's known as Santa Claus around here, but he goes by different names in different cultures and countries. What is Hanukkah? Hanukkah is a Jewish holiday that's usually celebrated near the end of November or in December. Thousands of years ago, a ruler ordered soldiers to ruin a Jewish temple. He disagreed with the Jewish religion and mistreated Jews. But Jews came together to fight, and they saved the temple. They believed that a flame should always burn in the temple, but they were running out of oil. They thought there was only enough fuel to burn for one night.
All right, we're going to pause there because it's going to give us some more information that we're going to see tomorrow. That's some good background information about Christmas. It has a connection to religion in our family cultures, and then we got to see some things that we just do for fun as more of a regular holiday. So that's some nonfiction stuff. We got some good background knowledge to learn some good facts. You're going to see more about that in our activity today. But as a special treat, we're going to meet some nonfiction with some fiction. And Ms. Tarquinio has recorded a fiction story about Christmas. It's one of our favorites. And the video's half of the story. It's just the beginning. We're going to leave you in suspense because the internet's a little bit slow too. And we're just going to hit play and see how we do. And if it gets stuck, you can leave and come back, and this video will be available for you later. So enjoy Mrs. Tarquinio reading the first half of How Murray Saved Christmas.
Hello, Woodland Eagles. I am so excited to read this story with you. I know that the holiday season is coming and we have a week left before we get our Christmas break in. So I thought this would be a really fun book for us to read. It's called How Murray Saved Christmas. I'm going to break this into two parts for you as well. It's kind of long and I don't want to take up too much time of your teachers meet time. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts. I also want you to know I'm doing this by myself in my office. So I've got my mask off to make sure that everybody is safe. So once again, how Murray saved Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and at the North Pole, Santa was rocking and ready to roll. His seatbelt was buckled, his reindeer were fed, and 5 billion toys were stuffed into his sled. There were dolls that said mama and dolls that said goo, dolls that made music and dolls that made poo. There were dolls that grew tall at the push of a button, and a doll, best of all, that didn't do nothing. He revved up his reindeer, about to take off, when all of a sudden he heard a small cough. Santa, could I have your attention? It was Edison Elf with his latest invention. Edison thought of himself as a tinkerer, but as a tinkerer, he was stored of a stinkerer. A Jack-in-the-Boxer belongs on your list. It's a Jack-in-the-Box with a fabulous twist. So Santa Claus tried it, and oh, what a trick. A boxing glove popped out and knocked out Saint Nick. He wobbled, he bobbled, his face turned bright red. A lump like a sugar plum rose from his head. Santa, cried Eddie, but Santa said glibble. Perfectly schnibble, then started to dribble. Ed dressed himself in jammies and put him to bed, and wondered who would bring presents instead. Then a card fluttered down out of Santa's right mitten, and on it, in round golden letters, was written, for special delivery, call Murray Kleiner, owner of Murray Cake's Holiday Diner. Now Santa and all of the holiday bunch would come into Murray's for breakfast or lunch. You might see George Washington eating and drinking on President's Day with Abraham Lincoln. Cupid loved bagels, the groundhog the chili. The Thanksgiving turkey would stuff himself silly. And how, you might wonder, did Santa get fat? Just thank Murray's chocolate chip cheesecake for that. But lunchtime was past. It was late Christmas Eve. Murray had closed and was ready to leave. When Ed parked the sleigh and he hollered to Murray, I need a delivery and I'm in a big hurry. Murray said, I can make you whatever you wish. A nice piece of fish or spinach niche. But who are you, Shorty? And where is St. Nick? Edison sobbed, I made Santa Claus sick. And now I need you to deliver some toys to 200 countries, to good girls and boys. And just put on this red suit and get in the sleigh. What are you, cuckoo? Cried Murray. No way. Give me one reason to schlep through the snow, bringing billions of presents to kids I don't know. Will anyone pay me? Will anyone tip? What if I slip and fracture my hip? Look out the window. It's cold and it's shivery. Why in the world would I make this delivery? Because it's Christmas, said Ed. Christmas, you know, is that one special season when people do good things without a good reason. And the grouchiest men would wear musical ties and buy Christmas present for folks they despise. The cheapest of cheapskates will spend all his money, and people make fruitcakes from concrete and honey. Christmas works magic, and Edison knew it. You're not playing fair, Murray grumped, but I'll do it. Murray put on the suit. The belly was baggy. The shoulders were saggy. The bottom was draggy. I'm fat, Murray said, but Santa seems fatter. The caboose is quite loose, but I guess it won't matter. Then they hopped on the sleigh, which sped off like a comet, causing Murray to holler, sit down or I'll vomit. I've just got one rule, but Shorty, it's basic. If you go too fast, then I'm bound to get sleigh sick. They made their first stop, Eddie fearing the worst. Murray fell down the chimney and landed tush first. He didn't come back till 2:15, when Eddie cried, Murray, what happened to you? Murray shrugged. By the fireplace, kids hung up socks, so I loaded the socks with bagel and lox. They went to the next house, and it didn't get better. Murray got hit by a big Irish setter. He stepped on a turtle at house number 3. At house number 4, he knocked over the tree. I'm old and I'm cold, and this suit doesn't fit. If the next stop goes badly, said Murray, I quit. The elf couldn't blame him. Poor Murray had tried. You're going to do great, little Edison lied. Murray jumped down the chimney and landed so hard that thud knocked the snow off the trees in the yard. He got to his feet with an oof and an oi, and found himself facing a 6-year-old boy. So boys and girls, that's where we're going to stop today. And I'll make sure that we do something great when we get back together for the next half of How Murray Saved Christmas. Thanks.
That, my friends, is the first half of probably the greatest Christmas story ever. It's a fiction story called How Murray Saved Christmas. This is just the first half. We really hope that you enjoyed Miss Tarquinia reading the first half. By Friday, we should have the second half that we can show you, and we can celebrate. We can see how it ends, because Murray is crazy, and this is getting to the big problem of the story, down to the plot. We know the characters, we know the setting, we're getting deep into the problem, and we need to see the solution. So we've got fiction Christmas, we've got nonfiction Christmas with just the facts, and that's what you're going to focus on in your activity today. It's underneath Monday 12-14 for reading. When you click on it, it opens up like this. It's big so you can see. Okay. So that's probably too big. But when you open up your Google form activity for today, there are 3 paragraphs of nonfiction text. It's called Christmas. There you go. Someone keeps coming unmuted, and it's giving me feedback on my side. I'm just checking on you. Christmas is a holiday that is celebrated all over the world. Originally, Christmas began as a holiday to celebrate the birth of Jesus. According to the Bible, Mary was chosen by God to carry Jesus and give birth to him. She voyaged with her husband Joseph to a town called Bethlehem, where it is said that she had a baby in a stable for animals. They made their way to Bethlehem following the northern star along with 3 wise men and shepherds. Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus on December 25th every year and call the holiday Christmas. There are many other traditions that people enjoy during the Christmas holiday season. Many families prepare for a jolly old man named Santa Claus to come to their home. According to tradition, Santa flies from the North Pole on Christmas Eve and delivers presents to children all over the world. The children wake up and open them on Christmas morning, and according to some stories, if you're not kind during the year, you will receive a lump of coal instead of a Christmas gift. Another Christmas tradition is setting up and decorating a Christmas tree. This tradition is said to have begun in Germany around the 18th century. However, many people believe that Martin Luther began the tradition in the 16th century. Many Christmas trees are bejeweled with garland, lights, ornaments, and a star on top. This tradition can be fun and exciting. There are even a few famous Christmas trees that people look forward to seeing each year. The Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center in New York City, New York, and the big tree at the White House in Washington, D.C. Christmas is definitely a joyous time of the year. So, this is your 3-paragraph passage, nonfiction about Christmas. I can see you and hear you already. Miss Falone, that is way too long. This is 3rd grade text that you are used to reading. You need to continue to practice reading longer texts to get you ready for what's going to come after Christmas time. I've already read it once to you, so you have some of that background knowledge, and you need to go in and check in and read this passage again to answer the following questions. First, put your name on there. Make sure that we get your work. Number 1, what is the main idea of the passage? Santa Claus comes at Christmas. People decorate trees at Christmas. Christmas is Jesus' birthday, or Christmas is celebrated all over the world. Click on the answer choice that you think is the main idea. Click in the orangey red space so your answer saves, and scroll down. Number 2, Mary and Joseph voyaged to Bethlehem. What does voyaged mean? Did they disappear, read, traveled, or kicked? Pick the answer that you think is correct. Click in the red space and scroll down. Number 3, where is the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center? Is Rockefeller Center in Washington, D.C., New York City, New York, Radcliffe, Kentucky, or Albany, New York? Click on the answer, click in the red, and scroll down. Who can receive a lump of coal? Who can get cold? Cars, cats, children, or airplanes? Click the answer and scroll down. Number 5, the passage uses this vocabulary word, bejeweled. What is a synonym for bejeweled? Remember that a synonym is a word that means the same thing. Which means the same as bejeweled? Decorated, left, watered, or cut. Click your answer, click submit, and it will give you a score. So, nonfiction, Christmas connection is what you're working on today. After that, you have time to work on your Lexia time. That's the end of that. And then silent reading when you are finished. Reading block ends at 9:45. Mr. Bill meets today for fluency. Your passage is called The Fox and the Wolf. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passages in this passage called The Fox and the Wolf. Make sure that you are on time for Mr. Bill today. He has Angel at 9:15, Caden at 9:30, and Jet at 9:45. And then we have our math break, and then the rest of our friends this afternoon. I need to hang on to Yasmin, Taylor, Rosaria, Caden, and Melanie to check in with something for me. And this officially ends your reading Google Meets check mark for you. When we stop recording and I let you go, you're going to go to the Google Classroom and do today's activity. Don't leave until it is time. Log on to Lexia. This is a daily activity that you must do to meet your goal for the week. And then if you have time left over, you're working on your choice board with social studies and science, or you are working on your silent reading. I'm getting ready to stop. If you need me or have questions, stay on the chat. If I need you, stay on the chat and get some really good work done. I hope you enjoy your work about Christmas and your social studies connection for reading.